We're in this really weird, fascinating spot with AI right now. On one hand, it's this incredible creative genius, but on the other, it can be a shockingly unreliable expert. So how can it be both of those things at the same time? Well, that's exactly the paradox we're going to dive into.
Okay, get this. An AI looks at this photo, just a picture of some lobster tails, and it doesn't just say, hey, that's lobster. Oh no. It can spit out a full-blown recipe for you. We're talking the exact amount of garlic butter, the perfect oven temp, the cooking time, everything. It's not just seeing a photo. It's like it understands the soul of the dish. It's wild.
And it gets even crazier. Imagine you sketch out an idea for a website, just a rough drawing on a napkin. The AI can take that simple sketch and turn it into actual working code, like HTML, JavaScript, the whole thing. It literally brings your idea to life in seconds. Just think about that for a moment.
I mean, the possibilities here are just mind-blowing. This same kind of AI can write you a poem, it can look at a picture of your sad-looking houseplant and tell you what's wrong with it, it can even explain why a meme is funny. These are skills that blend deep understanding with pure creativity. It's stuff straight out of science fiction. So, what's the secret sauce here? How does this even work?
Well, the real breakthrough is all about connecting what the AI sees with what it knows. And a model called Mini GPT-4 is leading the charge here with a totally new approach that's a real game changer.
Okay, so here's the basic idea, broken down. Think of it like this. Mini GPT-4 connects a super powerful visual eye, which is amazing at just seeing and identifying stuff, to a really sophisticated language brain, kind of like the one in advanced chatbots. The real magic, though, is the bridge between the two. It's this special layer that lets the language brain actually understand what the visual eye is seeing.
And this is where it all comes together. This training happens in 2 stages. Look at the left side here. After the first stage, the AI's description is, well, it's pretty robotic and clunky, right? A wooden bench in the snow. But then, after a second round of training where it learns from way more detailed descriptions, you get what's on the right. Suddenly, it's fluent, it's natural, it sounds like a person.
So yeah, this is a huge leap. AI is becoming this amazing creative partner. But, and this is a big but, what happens when we're not just talking about writing a poem or a recipe? What happens when the stakes get really high? Could you trust this thing with your job, your finances, your health? That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
So how do we test this? How do we find the breaking point? Well, researchers basically created the ultimate final exam for AI. It's called the MMU benchmark. And trust me, this thing is brutal. We're talking college-level, expert-level questions designed to push these AI models to their absolute limit.
And just look at the scope of this thing. It's not just one subject. It's like an entire university curriculum crammed into one test. You've got engineering, science, medicine, business, you name it. This is a test of real professional-grade knowledge. And the results? Well, they were pretty eye-opening. They found some really surprising and honestly critical weaknesses.
So while the AI did great in some areas, a really specific pattern of failure started to pop up over and over again. It pointed to these big, unexpected gaps in what the AI understands, and one type of mistake in particular just kept showing up. They call it a perceptual error. Here's what that means. The AI totally gets the big picture, the main idea, but it completely fumbles the crucial little details inside a chart or a table. It's that classic can't see the trees for the forest problem. So it might know it's looking at a stock chart, but it just plain misreads the numbers.
Let me show you a perfect example of this. The AI was given this pretty simple economics table and a basic question. I mean, this should be a layup for a super smart AI, right?
So here's the table. It shows what 2 different nations can produce, paper and crepes. The question is about a basic economics concept. All the AI has to do, literally the only thing it needs to do, is read the numbers in the right rows and columns.
And here's where it just completely faceplants. It reads the numbers 3 and 9 just fine, but it mixes up the items. It says Nation X can produce 3 units of crepe when the table clearly says 3 units of paper. That one tiny slip-up makes the entire answer wrong.
And that right there is a textbook perceptual error. The AI knows the economic theory, but it can't accurately perceive the simple data right in front of its face.
But here's what makes this so tricky. It's not like the AI is just dumb. In another question, it correctly analyzed these really complex tables about ancient coins to figure out trade routes. So the problem isn't that it can't do it. The problem is you never know when it's going to fail. It's just not reliable.
Okay, let's look at another one. This time, it's a bar chart from a marketing poll. And the task is dead simple. Just calculate the percentage of males who were part of the survey.
And you guessed it, it messed up again. Instead of using the actual number of people surveyed, the sample sizes, which are right there on the chart, it grabbed completely different numbers, the approval percentages. It used the wrong data, so of course it got the wrong answer. It's another classic perceptual error.
All right, so messing up an economics problem or a marketing question is bad, but it's not the end of the world. But what happens when this exact same kind of error, this perceptual error, happens in a field like medicine, where the stakes are literally life and death?
So, in one of the medical questions, the AI looked at this image of human tissue and confidently diagnosed it as an HPV infection. But the real diagnosis, the ground truth, was chronic inflammation. Now, those are two wildly different things that require totally different treatments. An error like that in the real world, well, the consequences could be devastating.
And this really gets to the heart of the paradox we started with. When an AI makes a mistake writing a poem, you might just call it an interesting choice. It's a creative quirk. But when it makes a mistake reading a medical slide or a financial chart, that's not a quirk. That's a critical, dangerous failure. So, what's the path forward? Where do we go from here? It seems like the next big frontier for AI isn't about it getting even more creative or writing even prettier poems. The real challenge is something much more fundamental.
It really boils down to two different types of skills. On one hand, you have compositional skills, and AI has pretty much mastered these. This is the creating new stuff part, like writing recipes and code. But the other side of the coin is perceptual skills, and that's the big challenge. That's the ability to accurately and, most importantly, reliably see and understand all the tiny, crucial details in expert-level data.
Look, there's no doubt AI has become this incredible creative genius, a tool that can do things we only dreamed of. But the big question we're left with is, when will we be able to truly trust it as an expert? When does it make the leap from brilliant but flaky artist to a reliable professional we can count on for the important stuff?